Camron talking about the difference between Nas and Jay Z. I'm gonna let it play.
Oh,
To me, my personal opinion is this: Jay Z is he. I'm not saying he doesn't. He's not a hip hop historian. He doesn't know about hip hop. He listen. He had won a Writers Guild Award or some type of award, and he named probably every rapper from 1978 to 2014 or 15, whenever he won the award, like every rapper in between that time. I believe that Jay Z, to me, my personal opinion, is not in love with hip hop. I think he likes hip hop a lot. I think he likes money more and opportunities to take his brand to the next level. And some of the stuff that may have been going on in Hip Hop 50 may have not been up his alley. When you see him running the entertainment for the NFL, we never had anybody black run the entertainment for the NFL. We don't even got a black owner. So to me, it's about taking steps and levels. And for him, when I say for me, my opinion of what he's doing and what Antonio Brown said about making strides, we don't know what the play is. I was talking to Larry again in my nigga church about sometimes you do something for somebody so they could do something for you. Favor for a favor. It's not always a money thing. And we don't know if he did that for Robert Kraft, for Tom Brady. So Robert Kraft or Tom Brady could do something for Rock Nation or for something, one of his charities or come to Blues birthday. We don't fucking know. You don't know what it's about. But as far as the hip hop 50 thing is concerned, I don't think he loves it as much as somebody like Nas loves it. Nas loves hip hop. I seen some footage about maybe 2, 3 years ago. Nas had met Slick Rick for the first time, and it looked like a 3-year-old walking in a candy store. He jumped up and down. He did a skip. He's like, "Oh my fucking god, it's Slick Rick!" And the homage he paid to Slick Rick, as he should, as we all should, for a pioneer who paved the way for us to all be doing our thing today. It was just like refreshing to watch because Nas is on a, he's another money nigga too, but he loves hip hop. Nas threw a hip hop 50 shit at Yankee Stadium. You don't get no more hip hop than that. He's from Queens, threw a 50-year hip hop shit in the South Bronx where hip hop was created. When he could have did it in Shea Stadium, he could have did it at any other venue in Queens, where they play the U.S. Open, all that shit. He did it in the South Bronx where hip hop is created. And to me, that's the difference in the love for hip hop between those two. Where Jay-Z, I'm not saying he doesn't love it, but Nas is gonna say, fuck that, we going back to the South Bronx and we gonna do this. But Nas is gonna do documentaries about the Supreme Team. So as opposed Jay-Z saying, nah, we need to take this somewhere else and let's start getting our uh, culture at halftime of the Super Bowl. So I get what AB's saying, but at the same time, you have to think about business as well. And I think that Jay-Z operates on business as opposed to feelings.
Thoughts on that, Slimmy? He's saying that Jay likes hip hop, Nas loves hip hop.
1,000% fact. I
You think
agree with
so?
a thousand. I agree 1,000%.
I
Now I'm not
disagree, but I'm gonna let you get
now
it off. Go ahead.
now the thing is the thing that he didn't say Jay was not was a student of the game. Jay is definitely a student of the game. No questions asked. But I don't got a feeling like that he loves hip hop the way that Nas does. I think it's a totally different Nas is a totally different animal, man. Like when it comes to love of hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think Jay-Z is fully in love with it. You know what I'm saying? Like I just don't see it with Jay, man. Like but I do think he's a student of the game. He used it as a vessel to get where he had to go. But I think like once he got where he had to go, he like, all right, we could part ways. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna do this business. Nas is still fully engulfed in hip hop to this day. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think that's gonna change until like maybe Homie Perish or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think
I
so,
just
Slimmy. If you listen to Jay, like he regularly throughout the years will say, "Man, I rock with this person as new, and I rock with this person, and I'm still loving it, and I'm still seeing it." I don't think that because he doesn't participate at the rate that Nas does as far as dropping albums and stuff like that. Um, I think that Jay loves it just as much as Nas does. I genuinely believe that Jay loves it just as much as Nas does, but I also think that Jay, because Cam was right? I understand what Cam was saying, but I think that Jay um is a money guy. Like he about his bag. Just, on a much larger scale, right? I think that they approach it differently. It's almost um like okay, Nas is like, okay, well, yeah, always want to go back to the essence. Jay is like, I want to blow this up and make it even bigger and put it on a bigger stage. Similarly, when they was talking, like when he was just mentioning the Super Bowl versus Nas is on some mass appeal. I want to throw it back in Yankee Stadium. I think that they just have two different methods that they approach it with. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think that it's an either or. I think it's an and. I think that Jay loves it just as much as Nas does, in my personal opinion.
Yeah, I want to say something to Brooklyn Kennedy. Yo, bro, you got to cool out, bro. Like for real. You can't be calling people dumb because we got a difference in opinion. And yeah, we don't know Jay-Z, but I guarantee you, you don't either, motherfucker. So calm the fuck down. Like, calm down, bro. And then you agreed with us later. Shut up, bro. Like,
But
no,
I
my
do.
fault, bro.
No, you cool. I think that they have just two different personalities.
I agree with that, but I just I think once Jay Z found a way, like he didn't have to use hip hop as a vessel anymore, he got out of there. You know what I'm
No, he
saying?
still
And I,
dropped he still dropped the Carter album. He still dropped 444. You know what I'm saying? Like he
but
didn't
how long
have
ago
to,
was
but he was
that?
still doing it.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, and it's just like it's sparingly. You know what I'm saying? Like he can still be making music, but he's just like, that's like it's almost like, yo,
But I
this is
mean,
a
we
thing
don't
of the
know that he not
past.
making music. He
Yeah,
may
you're
just
right.
not want to
That's not
drop
fair.
music. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
not fair.
Like Dre
That's not
has
fair.
always made music, but Dre is never really dropped as much music per
Nah,
se.
well, yeah, yeah. I don't know what's up with Dr. Dre, man. I
But I
don't know
mean,
what
he
be up with
lives in a studio. He lives, he eats, sleep, breathe it. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like he doing it for sport, or he doing it for himself, and not necessarily just doing it for the record sales or the visibility. I mean, like I'll give you an example. Jay dropped that Jay Electronica album was a Jay Z album. Like
Oh
he
man,
wanted
I
Jay
don't.
Electronica to drop so bad that it seemed like he just practically wrote the whole album himself.
Yeah,
That's
that's
a
that's
Jay Z album. That was not a Jay Electronica album. That was a Jay Z album, bro.
yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. But I also do not I don't think he loves that shit the same way Nas does. It's just like a different zeal when it comes to hip hop from Nas. That's just my outlook on it. And I'm not saying that Jay doesn't like hip hop. I don't think that there was a point where I don't think there was a point where he didn't like it at all. I don't think it's anywhere near the level of Nas though. I do not see that shit.
I do.
I don't see it.
I do.
I
Okay.
think I
If
think
you
he
had to
leveraged
pick
it for
one that you
business.
I think that you just like Nas better.
No, yeah, for sure. But that don't have nothing to do with this though. It's just like what I've seen throughout the years. You know what I'm saying? It's like once Jay Z didn't have to compete with anybody anymore, he was just like doing it on his own accord. It's distance between his projects, a big gap. You know what I'm saying? Like, but that's just my outlook. I don't think anybody, I don't think everybody's gonna feel the same way, but I think it is some people who are gonna be like, well, they're gonna see the Nas side of it, and they're gonna see like the work that he put in. They're gonna go and they're
I
gonna
don't think
look at.
that volume is the only metric that you use to gauge whether or not somebody loves something or not, though. You know what I'm saying?
That's
I
true.
mean, Jay
I agree
took
with
it
that.
to the NFL. I mean, for God's sakes, the dude put the whole Death Row family. I mean, not Death Row. West Coast, Dr. Dre, and all of them on the Super Bowl stage. That don't happen without Jay. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I think I
I
well
think that you
so
can show love without necessarily always being at the forefront of it too. I think I'll give you an example. I think that he loves battle rap, he loves hip hop, he loves all of that. You know what I'm saying? The game don't necessarily love him back as far as the people that maybe
He
immersed in the
doesn't.
culture is all of
Yeah.
that, but I think that he still loves it like ever. Like, but if you flip it and you say Joe, I don't think that Joe Budden loves hip hop the way that Eminem loves hip hop at all. I
Hmm.
don't listen. M is
No.
always gonna be recording no matter what. He always gonna be recording. He always gonna be immersed in it. He always gonna know what's going on. M, I've seen M calling the shows and to recite LL Cool J line by line, like you know everything, just immersing himself in everything about the culture. M is more studied on the culture than most of these guys that's a part of it. So, but that don't necessarily mean that M is gonna drop at the rate of Jeezy or you know what I'm saying or something like that. So I just think that it's a different type of approach and appreciation for it. It doesn't necessarily have to be overt to where I'm dropping albums and that's the way I show that I love the culture.
Well, I think with Jay Z, I think it's just more so like I just feel like he it was like a business for him. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying he didn't like it. I'm not saying like I think he just leveraged it to get where he had to go. You know what I'm
But I
saying?
think
Like
that you
like
can both could be true though, right? Like
yeah, that's true.
you
That's true.
could love it and make a lot of money and leverage it at the same time.
But I think like we'll see the thing is like the maybe it's just I want more from him as far as
I don't. I just
how
want
he
people. I want
speaks
people
how
to.
he speaks on hip hop and maybe like
You talking about Jay Z?
maybe, like how he speaks on it and maybe like acknowledging some artists. Maybe that's just he just don't do
I
that enough for
don't.
me.
I
Maybe I
I
don't
want
know.
people. I want people to drop when you become a goat. I want people to drop when you want to drop. When you really,
Exactly, I agree with that.
when you feel it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll give you an example. We saying Nas is Nas today because of the rate that Nas is dropping albums, but Nas was largely considered to be lazy earlier in his career because he didn't drop as much as everybody else, or he didn't move at the rate or with the volume, or you know what I'm saying. A lot of his projects was slower or lackluster, or people was getting on him about his beat selection and all of this stuff, right? And so if you look at the earlier part of their career, it's basically done a 180 where Jay was a little bit more active when Nas wasn't. And now Nas is getting more active when Jay isn't in their older age, right? So volume wise, Nas is a lot more active, whereas people consider Nas lazy. And it's the opposite and it's the reverse, right? But maybe Nas is just feeling something right now when he feel like he got to get it off. Whereas I don't want people to drop when they don't want to drop because then when you do it without passion behind it, or you feel the need to have to get something out, maybe Jay is in a state of his life to where it's not that he don't love it, but maybe he just like to see the other people put the work in and just put people on or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I think it's just a different way that you approach it, but it doesn't mean that you don't love it any less.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I don't know, man. I just maybe it's just the way I feel about Jay Z. Then I just like I just like I feel like he distanced himself from it from a business aspect, and then it just seems like at certain points he just mentally just checked out. And then also, and then another thing, and then it's some of the records that he made to me, like some of the records that he made, it just
Who,
seemed like
Nas or
he
Jay?
want Jay, like some of the records he made, like Death to Auto Tune and shit like that. It was almost like it was like I don't know, it was like this
That's what he was feeling at the time.
arrogant, but like it just seemed like he was taking shots at certain artists. You know
Ain't
what I'm
that what hip
saying?
hop
Like in
is?
it,
Hold on, wait. Kendrick did it and nobody criticized him for it.
what do you do?
He been taking shots at artists for years.
Yeah, but okay, so the way Kendrick look, I don't know what Kendrick Lamar be on. I ain't gonna lie, but
No,
The
that's
way
no
Jay went
people say
about
that
this,
that's hip hop. They say that challenging and going back and forth with people is that's hip hop is
but
right.
the
I thought
way,
that that's the way it was.
but instead of just calling out the artist, he went at he went at an aspect that where it was sort of like growth for a art form. You know what I'm saying? Like, now it ain't Roger Troutman technique, but it's almost like, yo, auto tune was a new wave. And it's just like he was
But
just like,
Nas
no,
did
we
the
ain't fucking
same
with that
thing.
shit.
Nas did
Yeah,
the
with
same
with the
thing. Hip hop
you
is
talking about
dead.
when hip hop is dead.
Nas did the
But
same
that
thing,
but
and he
see,
didn't catch flack for it.
actually he did. Because there was a
Not
lot of people
really.
who were saying
Not
hip hop ain't
really.
dead. It was a lot of people who felt like it wasn't.
But
But
not really.
Nas was
Nas
saying
didn't
that,
catch the same thing that Jay got.
yeah, because I don't think it was hate. I think it was like, the thing was like, the quality of music was actually going down. The quality of music was going down. So I think it was pretty accurate.
I don't think that
I
it was
think with
going down. I think it was evolving, Slim.